Okay, I'm Job Baniang Ndelong. I'm a writer, I'm a reader, and a literary enthusiast to be precise. I breed dogs, I sell shoes, and I think more than all, I'm a living thing, so I do anything that sustains and brings about dignity as a Nigerian. Well, I think, first of all, personally, I write for my sanity. It is a way of releasing pent up emotions. It is a way of expressing myself about what I experience as a human being, as a Nigerian in this current time. So I think it is a way of expressing myself basically. Yes, I do. I do consider the reader. Basically, the reader is the focus because no one writes without an audience in mind. So you must consider the reader. But above the reader, I think my survival too matters. It is a way of being valid in your own space. So how do people get to know about me, about the experiences I go through without me writing? So I felt to balance it for the reader and for myself. These are ways of validating my experience as a writer. Well, as a Nigerian, as someone who is perceived to be from a minority group in Plateau State, the Pan people of Kwampan local government, I felt it is a story of the lions telling their own story so that the tale of the hunting will not glorify the hunter. So it is a way of documenting the existence of a people called Pan to begin with, then my own experience as a human being. At the end of the day, I am focused on telling the story that every human being in the society matters. And in my stories, I try to foreground the fact that there's no major ethnic group, there's no minor human being. So all these things are meant to create a balance. I think these are the focal point of my works.
Great points.
Well, since when I was younger, I think in the year 2006, I tried writing a memoir. I know these days they talk about memoir and people tend to align them to older people, yes. And I felt no, we're in Nigeria. And as a Nigerian youth, you must consider the fact that there is that urgency of the moment, that anything can happen. So it is the urgency that actually entails the reason for writing such things. So since 2006, as a child, I think I was in junior secondary school. Well, my experiences for not writing are multifaceted. And
Publishing.
yes, so for publishing in multiple folds. And the first is personal, as a Nigerian, there's this bait of trying to excuse yourself that you have tomorrow, you have the next. So, the economic realities, this is me giving some of the excuses for not publishing. Then at a point, you made mention of the issue of making it perfect. I've been such a pedantic person when it comes to wanting to put in something very perfect, because these are things a brooding writer or a writer feels he must settle before publishing. I think basically these two. I think the most difficult part is writing itself, because the inspirations are there, the materials are there, but is the writer ready to sit and write? I think that is basically the most difficult one for me. And being a human being in the society, sometimes we give ourselves the difficulties. Being a Nigerian is an obstacle for writing. Though some people will tell you that you will just write because of the anger in the country, but sometimes not just the anger. There's this pessimism where you feel, okay, who is going to write, who is going to read what I'm writing? So these are some of the issues.
For a writer?
I think there are basically two for me.
Okay.
And the first is the mastery of the language. A writer must master the language in which he or she wants to express herself or himself. That's the first one. Then there's that reading skills. You need to consider there's what we call touchstones of literature. Whether you are in the arts, whether you are in the sciences, there are touchstones. There are works that are definite about a particular field of study. You need to consider these things. And for me, as a writer and with a literary background, I think I've encountered Longinus's On the Sublime, Horace's Ars Poetica. We have Sir Philip Sidney's The Art of Poetry. So all those things, these are the materials, these are the skills people need to, or writers need to learn from. Yeah. I think we read to be informed about the world around us, about ourselves too. So reading is very essential because at the end of the day, a writer is writing to survive sometimes because of retelling his experiences. Let's say a writer in exile, he writes to tell about his experience. So I felt if one is into reading, reading actually gives you a foresight, one insight into the life and perspective of that writer in exile. So it is a way of being informed about the world and the things happening around you. So, and for therapy too, there's a way of in which one would be very depressed. Reading a poetry about love will actually enliven your moods. That's on the lighter mood. But you see, these are some of the things. Basically, for me, it's therapeutic and it empowers the mind. It emboldens you wherever you are going to. If you do not read, you can't go in for an examination. And life in itself is an examination we take every day. So reading prepares you for the day. That's it for me.